Hey guys, back again. We've got a very cool blue Meanie tribute sitting behind me, so I've got some wiring to sort out on it, and let's get that done. So being a tribute, there's a couple of things we need to fix up in this. It is about as damn close as it gets to being pretty well perfect. So we've got some fusible links here on the battery which are supposed to be black, not green. So I'll sheathe those up. Then over here on our fuse box, pretty standard Commodore problem. Melted pins in the fuse block. So over here, a freshie. Brand new one to go in, all the pins to go with it. So we'll start doing some wiring. Sweet. Alright, so the other side of what I'm going to do here is obviously these fuses that are slightly meltard, they just have too much load on them. So I will now, you can see we've got our spare blanking relay blocks, and they're the factory fit ones, so they will go directly straight into place. So I will bypass these fuses into the relays and should fix our problem. Alright, one cable tie and bam! There's a fuse box. Beautiful. Alright, so this one here definitely had some nicer days. So start depinning this fuse block and start getting it changed out.
And now for something completely different.
What'd you say, Damo? Only one of what, 6 in the country?
6 in the country, 100 worldwide, all sold out.
Yeah, that's kind of nice, isn't it? Some tasty numbers. Why, thank you, Mr. Damo. Okay, so ignore my stupidly messy bench at the moment, but have some progress. It is all back together. Now, at the moment, I've got some just some epoxy drying down in here, as the original screw holes were a little bit how you going. So of course that's that, but the pièce de résistance. There we go. It looks like a new fuse box. It's a little bit nicer, all brand new terminals through the whole thing, brand new fuses, modded up some of the wiring as well. We've obviously added extra relay and a couple of inline fuses low down. So those inline fuses are basically relay power, which eliminates the need for the two fuses that were getting a lot of current run through them. So that is a hell of an improvement. Win! Right, there's my holes re-epoxied up, top and bottom. So now I can go through, I'll re-drill those ones out, and good to mount this thing down and put it back in the car. I've already got that stuff's all sitting there ready to go, waiting for me. I just took all of the wiring and the relays and everything, plonked it in there, made sure everything in the car's all working, which everything's working. So now it's back in the box. I can drill these, mount it, and get it back in there. Let's do it. Right. Now we should have something to screw to. Oh yeah. That's like the bought one. That's a good looking fuse box now. And I didn't even put the wiring much. Oh, that makes me so much happier. Yummy. Definitely a bit nicer. I've got brand new relays coming for all of these, so they're all going to get replaced, so that one's not upside down. And as we saw, I've done a blank one with a couple of pins in it, so basically it's got a spot for a spare relay, which will just tidy it all up. So, get it back in. Well, I don't know what happened to the gimbal, but we have a running car. Dash lights, yes, very dim dash lights, but dash lights. Hey, we have radio. We have aircon. Wicked. Hells to the yeah. Win. All right, that's all coming along nicely. So I have gone to the next part, which is on the list. Now this is the demister and antenna buttons. This one here, the right hand side for the demister was playing up a little bit, so I've done some contact cleaner and run it through its paces, and it is now looking good. So that's a win. That can now go back together. But I did just get a box.
I should have some relays.
That is a lot of packaging. Wow. Okay. When you order 5 relays and receive 10. Win. All right, well. Time to go and put them in and fix my OCD with this fuse box. Win! Woo! Muchly better. That fixes my OCD. Now that's more like it. Nice. It's better. Alright, so as we can see, I have stripped a lot of this dash apart, or at least a good chunk of it. Get these heater controls out. There's a few bits I've got to change in here. I've got a brand new clock to go in that spot up there. And the heater controls were a bit, how you going? So obviously I've pulled all the console and stuff out of here, and I have done some rebuilding. So I'll have a look on the bench. So as you can see, this one, it was okay, but it's a bit how you going. So what I've managed to do, as you can see by all the bits floating around here, he did source a new old stock one, which is in much better condition as for the actual panel itself. But the electronics were a bit average. So you can see this is a little bit dusty. The board's pretty tarnished. There was a bit of surface rust hanging around, so have a look at the plug itself, or the switch. You can see that's got a bit of surface rust, which is a bit concerning. So I have stripped the pair of the two down, as you can see. I'll put a couple of photos in of me just cleaning up that little board, but you can see I've actually cleaned that circuit board and all the brushes for it as well, so that's all fresh. The little fibre optic lines here, which run through for the ends of the buttons, they were broken and the wiring had, or the sheathing had fallen off, so you can see when you operate it, that gets caught on that little bit down there, and right where I put that heat shrink, it would split apart. So I've fixed that bit up, and we have a completely rebuilt and fresh heater control. So I've gone through and I did some contact cleaner inside this switch as well, just to make sure that everything's good. I've picked out the best knobs to go with it, so I'll call that a win. Now he's rebuilt, I can start getting it back in the car. I also have done this one as well. So he did have another one. So they've actually changed the style of buttons in these. So this is the original one that was in here. Now I've actually gone through and swapped out and done a bit of research and made sure I've got my button color codes correct. You can see this one's all right. It's in average-ish condition. But the way that the actual internal buttons work on this one is they're like a membrane style touch button, and was getting a little bit dodgy, which is no big surprise. So the replacement one, this one here, which is much nicer, they're surface mount style little tactile buttons. Much nicer, much less push on these to actually make them work properly. It's almost literally just a touch to make them work. So like I said, I'll show a photo here, but I've been through and found some good photos of an original Brocky to get the color codes out of, and that is apparently how they are. Nice. And that's you can see by the pins if it wants to focus. Yeah, probably not, but believe me, they're brand new, so that can go back in as well. Lovely.